Being videoed for my protection and yours. What's your name, officer? Please identify yourself.
McLeod from the Clewiston Police Department.
And you, sir?
Officer Garza, Clewiston Police Department.
And what am I being pulled over for?
Well, 2 reasons. 1, you made a turn back there without a turn signal. 2.
Welcome back to the channel. Our goal is to educate the public about their rights and show how to handle encounters with law enforcement calmly and wisely. Today's story covers a real roadside stop caught on camera, offering insight into both citizen and officer behavior. If you're new here, remember to subscribe, like, and comment to support awareness against police misconduct. The link to the original clip is in the description, so visit and show your support for fair and lawful policing.
2, we got a call about you trying to sell something at a store, and at 2 different stores at that, not just one. So a suspicious activity call. And we had to make out with you to see who you are and what you're doing.
Got you.
So can I have your license, please?
So, what crime is that?
Well, there wasn't a crime committed because we don't know if the items are stolen or not.
Do you have suspicion that I committed a crime? Reasonable, articulable suspicion, either one of you, that I committed a crime, was about to commit a crime, was in the process of committing a crime.
Are there any...
The encounter begins when a driver records for his safety and politely asks the officer to identify himself. The officer introduces himself as part of the Clewiston Police Department. Another officer soon joins him. The driver asks what he's being stopped for, and the officer explains there were 2 reasons: a missing turn signal and reports from 2 stores about a person trying to sell items. These reports raised suspicion, so the officers stopped the car to find out more.
Stipulations?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
Except that you abide by the law.
I am abiding by the law.
No, you're not. You're asking me for my ID illegally.
He conducted a traffic stop.
That's not how that works.
That is how.
No crime has been committed. There's no reasonable, articulable suspicion. Excuse me.
When you commit a traffic infraction,
There's no reasonable, articulable suspicion that a crime has been committed. That a crime has been committed.
It was going to be committed. How do we know the stuff you have is not stolen? We have no way to prove it. No way.
Not how that works.
The driver calmly asks what law he has broken. The officer admits no crime has been proven yet, but they want to check whether the goods being sold might be stolen. The driver questions whether they have reasonable suspicion of a crime. His main point: being questioned should only happen if there is evidence or clear suspicion. The conversation begins to turn tense as both sides defend their understanding of the law.
Please get your supervisor here.
Sure.
Because that's not how this works. Well, then she should know better. She should know better, and so should you, Mr. Garza.
We are allowed to step out with people who reasonably believe...
Yeah, dumbass people who don't know the law.
That doesn't have to be dumb or smart.
If I have not been suspected of committing a crime with reasonable, articulable suspicion...
2 people have called saying you, in this vehicle, are trying to sell them items that they don't know are stolen, we don't know are stolen.
Then there's no crime.
Can you tell...
The driver insists he's obeying all laws and has done nothing wrong. He refuses to hand over his ID without a valid reason. The officers argue that a traffic stop gives them the right to ask for identification. The driver disagrees, saying a stop alone isn't enough without suspicion of an actual offense. He requests to speak with a supervisor to make sure the process stays fair and within the law.
Tell me that it's not stolen?
I already told you that.
I didn't ask. So how have you told me?
Because you said that you got a phone call, and I asked you if that was illegal, and you said no.
Called over the radio that's you.
Here. There's my paperwork right there. Nothing illegal.
Was that so hard?
No. But you can't just get people's ID for nothing, Mr. Garza.
It's not for nothing.
It is. It is.
Look,
there's policy and procedure, and there's constitution.
As the debate continues, the driver reminds the officers about constitutional rights and their sworn duty to uphold them. The officers explain they are responding to a public call and must verify what's happening. The driver pushes back, explaining that 2 people making a phone call doesn't automatically mean a crime occurred. He maintains his stance that standing or selling items isn't suspicious or illegal on its own.
No law that you swore an oath to, my friend.
Hold on, if somebody's standing here, and they're just standing here with no kids, and they're a grown person just sitting there, that's a suspicious person.
You know, I just got a call about some officers that we had to watch out for here that were breaking the law and the people's constitutional rights.
I can show you that's not us.
You sure it's not you?
Not me. But look,
I have suspicion to believe it's
hold
you.
on. You gonna let me finish what I'm saying so you have an understanding?
How you doing, boss?
There's a supervisor right there if you want
How
to
you
speak.
doing, supervisor? We're just getting an understanding of constitutional law here. You know, no big deal. He said.
The driver stays composed and points out that asking for ID without proper cause violates constitutional protection. The officers insist they're following procedure and simply trying to confirm his identity. The driver adds that citizens also have the right to question authority respectfully when unsure of a legal basis. He reminds them that protecting the law applies to both sides, officers and civilians alike.
He pulled me over because he got a phone call that, you know, we were selling stuff. I asked him if that's illegal. He said, no, that's not illegal, right? That's where we were at in the conversation. He asked for my ID, so I asked him again, what did we do that was illegal? For me to give you my ID, did we have any reasonable articulable suspicion that a crime has been committed? He said no. We got a phone call, 2 people said that items were trying to be sold. That's not a crime. Not here, not in Texas, not in, anywhere. It's not a crime.
A supervisor soon arrives on the scene. The driver explains his version clearly. He was pulled over for what he believes wasn't a valid reason. He notes there was no illegal turn, and his actions were lawful. The supervisor listens, confirming that selling items itself isn't a crime, but officers received a call and wanted to verify the situation. The tone shifts slightly as both sides seek to understand each other's reasoning.
My understanding is you were pulled over for a traffic offense.
That's not what I was pulled over for. Mr. Garza pulled me over. This woman pulled through here after. There was no illegal turn. That right there is a turnaround. You don't have to put your blinker on at that turnaround right there.
Tomato.
Right. So have you identified yourself, correct?
I told him who I was right there.
Perfect. All right.
It's not stolen stuff. I'm not trying to give him a hard time, but you guys can't just pull people over and say, oh, we got a phone call. Somebody said you were selling stuff. Let me see your ID. That's not how this works. I respect the law. You guys got to respect it too. You swore an oath to it.
The supervisor identifies himself professionally and explains they received a report of someone selling a stereo at a parking lot. The person who called wanted to remain anonymous. The supervisor clarifies that the officers only wanted to confirm who they were dealing with. He assures the driver there's no accusation, only verification. The driver thanks him but still questions why ID was requested if no crime was suspected.
Okay, all right, hold on for there. Okay, look, my name is Sergeant Nieves, badge number 0464, all right?
You know your shit.
Clewiston Police Department, yes. Look, we got a call at the Ace Hardware parking lot. Person just wanted to remain anonymous, saying that, hey, somebody was trying to sell a stereo in the parking lot, and that's it. They didn't request contact, nothing along those lines, all right? Look, he conducted a traffic stop. He was just trying to identify you guys. Everything's good. That's all we're trying to do.
Key word, try to identify.
That's all. Just try.
But that's not how that works.
Look, we're here, attempting to identify.
The supervisor says they're simply trying to identify everyone involved, emphasizing its standard procedure for safety and clarity. The driver replies that identification without reasonable suspicion isn't how the law works. The officers clarify they are following routine steps based on the information they received. Both sides stand firm, but the tone remains professional and calm, showing a small sign of mutual respect.
That's all we're trying to do, all right?
Your name again?
Sergeant Tito Nieves. All righty, sir.
Be safe. Thank you.
One, okay?
And we could sell here. It's not illegal.
It's not illegal.
Especially if I got my sales tax license, correct?
If you are a business conducting business within the city, you need a tax business receipt.
Got all that.
We don't have
Alrighty.
that knowledge.
Thank you. But you can't receive that knowledge illegally.
But we can
okay?
ask you. Just
Okay,
like
and I can refuse.
Yes, you can, but we still need to figure out what you're doing somewhere. So until we figure that
You
out,
could try to figure it out.
Until we figure that out, you are deemed a suspicious person. Do you understand?
Yeah, but being a suspicious person is not somebody that has been deemed reasonable, articulable.
The driver continues by explaining that being suspicious isn't the same as committing a crime. He emphasizes that unless there's clear reason to believe an offense occurred or is about to occur, demanding ID is not justified. The officers acknowledge his argument but maintain that confirming identities helps ensure safety. This moment reflects the common gap between legal interpretation and police procedure during stops.
So suspicion of committing a crime, about to commit a crime, in the process of committing a crime, would give you the only viable and reason to ask for my ID. Period. There's no exceptions at all.
So the traffic stop means nothing.
That wasn't a traffic stop.
So you made.
You specifically told me, and you are being recorded in my truck too. You specifically told me when I asked you why I was being pulled over. You specifically stated that you got a phone call about suspicious activity.
I'm telling you,
when she pulled up afterwards, because she came from this way. Well, I'm teaching you.
The driver reiterates that no traffic violation occurred and that he knows his rights. He insists that a simple phone call isn't valid grounds for a stop. He states that everything he's doing is legal and documented, with no stolen property or unlawful activity involved. He keeps the recording running, ensuring accountability on both sides while maintaining composure under pressure.
How are you supposed to learn if you don't listen?
What do you mean? How are you supposed to learn if you don't listen?
I already know what the fuck I'm doing.
That's the problem with closed-minded people.
That's why I already know what I'm doing. That's why he left. That's why you're going to leave. And that's why she left without getting my fucking ID. You see what I'm saying?
Well, I'm still conducting a traffic stop, so I do need your ID.
There's no traffic stop. For what? There's no legal traffic stop.
Turn, do you not have to signal which way you're going?
On that turnaround right there, you do not have to signal. Absolutely not, because it's not a left turn.
What is it?
I'm turning
As the discussion extends, the driver reminds the officers that understanding the law requires listening. One officer seems defensive, claiming he already knows his job. The driver replies calmly, saying that learning goes both ways. Citizens and officers can both benefit from clearer understanding. The situation shows how small misunderstandings can grow when communication turns rigid instead of respectful.
Turnaround. That's what that's made for. There's no stop sign there.
There's a stop sign right there.
That's not where I turned around at. I turned around further up.
So you did a U-turn.
I didn't turn around right here.
Oh, all right.
Stop trying to dig, dude. That's not how this is going to work, dude.
I'm doing what my sergeant says. Here you are, sir.
Do what the Constitution says.
10-4.
Your sergeant ain't gonna cover your ass when you get sued, dude.
The driver once again asserts his position, saying there's no legal basis for the stop and no valid reason to hand over ID. The officer claims the driver didn't signal during a turn, but the driver explains that specific spot is a turnaround and doesn't require signaling. Their disagreement continues, each side firm in belief. Yet, the encounter highlights how important clear traffic rules and mutual respect are during public interactions.